You stand here as the new and the first ever full-time coach of Adelaide United women's team. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means the world to me. I'm very passionate about this club, very passionate about women's football, and I'm, grateful for the opportunity and humbled and honoured to take it on and hopefully take this program to new heights and new levels.
What do you think this signals for sort of where women's football is at a whole?
Well, I think it just makes a statement that, an admission as well, that probably things haven't been where they've needed to be in the past, but it does make a statement that we are making steps in the right direction, and with the proper resourcing and support and promotion, women's sport can have a really strong spot in the sporting landscape in Australia.
How much of it is this a theme around the league? Are there many other full-time coaches in Adelaide women's at the moment?
I think there's a few. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what happens at other clubs. So I think there would be a few though. But my focus is here on Adelaide United and how we can make this, the program the best it can possibly be.
How's the squad looking before this season? Obviously, Izzy Hodgson injured at the moment, but outside of that, is it a pretty fit squad going to round one?
Yeah, I'm really excited about round one and hoping for a big crowd and a lot of support to come out and watch the girls do their thing. Training's been great. The new recruits have fitted in really well, and some of our returning players are another year stronger and better. So the squad's shaping up really well, and with some good support, I'm hopeful we can put on a really good performance on Sunday and people come out and watch.
Like you say, you guys have had 8 new players come in. How sort of have they integrated into the side?
Yeah, their integration's been seamless, to be honest. Really good footballers, first and foremost, but more importantly, just some great people that we've brought in to be around the group as well. So really excited to see how they go, and there's quite a few of them in line to possibly start this weekend.
How do you assess the feel around the league sort of going into round one? Does it feel like that Women's World Cup sort of mania has continued?
Well, I hope that's the case. I think the APL have done a good job in starting the season off with a standalone women's match. All the games are being played, women's round, sorry, all the games are being played at big stadia around Australia, and we get to play here as a standalone at Coopers, which is fantastic. I think it gives us some clean air and an opportunity to really launch the season positively. And so I'm looking forward to a big crowd getting out here on Sunday to support us, and it's also great to see some Matildas returning to the league as well, so it just speaks volumes of the strength that this league is going to.
What do you think else can sort of be done in that space to make sure that we sort of capture that hype was generated, the most watched television event of this year? What can the APL do to make sure that feeds back into the league?
Well, it all comes back to what I spoke about before, so just resourcing and promoting it in the way that it needs to be promoted. We even see with leagues around the world, women's leagues around the world, when they're resourced properly, when they're promoted well, people will turn out and come and watch because our players are very talented. They've been playing professionally for a long time in the league here in Australia. It's been going for a while, and they're worth your support and worth people coming out to watch them. So as long as it's resourced and promoted well, people will get on board.
How much will being full-time help with this team?
Yeah, I think it'll help with the program mainly, to be honest. It just means that I can sort of dedicate the time and effort and energy that's needed to do this job properly, because it is a difficult job to do. I can allocate that time a lot better than I could when I was working full-time as a teacher and part-time as a parent sometimes as well, and also coaching the team too. So yeah, I think it'll just allow me to dedicate and respect the job even more so than I was previously.
How much, we've got your young girls behind us, behind the camera, how much does this mean to you as a girl dad to have a full-time men's coach? What does this mean to the future of women's football, particularly when you look at your girls?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question, and they were out with me at training this morning, mixing with the players, and what greater way for them to grow up than to be surrounded by 23, 24, 25 fantastic, healthy, fit young role models that just show them what's possible, if you put in the hard work and you put in the effort. So I think it's a wonderful thing for my daughters to grow up and see and be a part of, and I hope there's a whole generation of young women out there that are inspired by this current generation, this current crop of footballers.
Are you trying to get them playing already?
One of them plays, the other one likes netball, and they're pretty heavy into dance, but yeah, one of them started playing and she enjoys it, but doesn't want to hear too much from her dad. I'm just a supporter on the sidelines.
When you look around the rest of the league so far, who do you think is going to be the main teams threatening? Obviously, you've got Mariners coming back into the league, a bit hard to assess, but who do you think is going to be up the top?
I think it's really hard to tell when no games have been played yet, and we're kind of a little bit isolated over here in Adelaide. We haven't played any A-League opposition in the pre-season. I know other teams have, so I've always said this and I've always maintained it, that I think there's not much difference between the top and the bottom of the league. I think all the teams are fairly even. It's going to be close competition, and so we need to be switched on and ready to go every round, no matter who the opponent is.
What's your expectations for your side this season?
Look, we're not going to put any limits on what we think is possible or what we're able to achieve. We want to make finals. We want to be not just a team that makes finals, but a team that is competitive in that finals environment. And we certainly want to improve on, our results and performances from last season.
Adrian, earlier in the week we saw the Minister release and announce the power of her, which the club are involved with, along with 4 other sporting codes in the state. And it's essentially about women's sport supporting women's sport, especially on the back of the success which you spoke about of the Women's FIFA World Cup earlier in the year. How important is it for other sporting codes to help support and promote the women players of other sporting codes?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful initiative. I think it's long overdue. Sometimes people talk about, code wars or sporting wars. I don't see it like that in women's sport. And what's the saying? A rising tide lifts all boats. So we'd love to get out and support, some of those other codes that play for Adelaide teams in this state. And we welcome support from their players, their members at our games as well. I think it's a wonderful initiative.